So I now will change cap and come back to my role as a facilitator and invite now Khangser Rinpoche, His Eminence Khangser Rinpoche, to share his insights with us.
Good morning to all. My name is Khangser Rinpoche. So we met yesterday, many of you, we met yesterday. And as I said yesterday, today I'm not prepared to talk. So I will just talk that what comes in the mind. So, but today's my topic will be I will talk about what I'm doing, the research about the mind. So I think that you cannot find that in the AI and in the ChatGPT. So from the Buddhist perspective, the mind, that definition of the mind, it is say that the clear and the understanding. So the mind have a very strong potential. So once you can change the mind, you can change the whole your body system. So past 3 years, I was doing the one research with collaborating with one of the leading hospital in Taiwan. And I'm very happy and proud to say that I am the first Buddhist monk who are residing in the Tibetan monastery to apply the IRB and to get the IRB. So what I apply is that through the meditation, how you can change the body immune system. So what we did is we did the pilot test with the 12 people. We took the blood, did the test, then we asked to meditate for the 6 weeks. After 6 weeks later, again, we took the bloods. So I introduced then the 3 different types of the meditation. Now you might be very curious that what I introduced what the meditation. So before that, let me tell you the one thing. Have you heard the term GMO? Genetically modified organism. Same thing that what I always tell that I introduce the meditation that GMM, genetically modified meditation. Because I modified the little different type of the meditation from which mentioned in the Vajrayana. I'm not so sure you heard the term. The Vajrayana is the highest school in the Buddhism. So I introduced them modified the meditation, 3-step modification. So then I introduced they have to meditate daily the 40 to 50 minutes for the 6 weeks. After 6 weeks later, we found that in the pilot test that the really very amazing result, changes in the body immune system. Now we got the IRB. Now we are going to do for the 150 people doing the test. So this is the past 3 years. It took a lot of times to get me the IRB, but finally we got it. And we already did the pilot test. Now we are going to do the master test. So here the point is that when you change the mind, so you can change a lot of things. Now here we have to understand the one very important thing is that we have to understand the definition of the mind. What is the definition of the mind? The second question comes, the mind have any potential or any ability to recognize itself? Did you get my point? So this is quite important. Then we can see that then we will see what the difference between the artificial intelligence and the actual intelligence. One time, when my students sent me the message and asked me the one question, so I told her, just go check in the AI. She told me, Rinpoche, you are my AI. You are my actual intelligence, not artificial intelligence. So here that we have to know that the difference between the mind and the AI. First, we have to know the definition of the mind, and any mind have any potential to realize or recognize itself. Some Buddhist perspective. Now, as I told you, the Buddhist perspective, what we see and what we found is that the mind have the very, very strong potential. And when you change your mind, it will not only change your brain, it can change your body immune system. That's the research what I'm doing. But I'm not so sure that I will fail or I will succeed in that research. I'm not so sure, but we are working on it. So later, in the 1 year later, I hope that I can tell you the results, what we found after 1 year. So now another thing is that here that as the mind, another thing is we have to understand that the mind is from the Buddhist perspective. It is when you talk about a mind, it's a very complicated, very complicated. Let me tell you the one example. It's just a story, okay? Don't take it seriously. There is one person came to see the master, and they told the master that, can you teach me the meditation? Master told that person, meditation is a very simple and very easy. Just go, sit, close your eye, think anything, whatever you want. Meditate, whatever you want, but don't think monkey. Don't think monkey, just sit there, think anything, whatever you want. The person went to the side of the room and sit there and close the eye. Then now you know what comes in his mind. That is the complexity of the mind. So that's why if you look at the Buddhists, they have the 4 different schools. I'm not so sure, have you heard that the Vaibhashik, Sutrantik, Chidamatra, Madhyamik. So when they come to explain about the mind, they have a lot of the different views about the minds. What are the different theories about the mind? Even when I ask you that about the mind have any potential to recognize itself, even if you look from the Prasangika view, the highest school of the view, a lot of different ways of explaining it. Where I come from is called the monastery from the Suraja monastery, and we used to say that from the view of the Prasangika, mind can realize the mind. But I know that some of the monastery, they will not accept this point, but we can debate, okay? If you are interested to see the debate, we can debate. So that is the second the point. Now what we have, most important thing is what we have to know about the consciousness. Now again, we have to know what is a consciousness and what is a mind. Now here comes the one very tricky is about the word. When you come to the Tibetan term, the namshe, and when you translate that in the English in the consciousness, it loses a lot of the meanings. Let me ask you the one question, very simple question. Do you believe or do you accept that a cell, body cell, have a consciousness? I used to ask this question a lot of people. Yes or what? Do you feel yes? Now, if you use the do cell have a namshe Tibetan word, if you ask any of the Geshe-las and any of the Buddhists, the scholar, they will say no. This is very tricky points. Now, the second question, normally the cell can pass the message to the one cell to the another. It can pass the message and it pass the message back to the brain. Am I right? So, now comes the one question. Can the brain or mind pass the message back to the cell? Reverse. Are you getting my point? That is my second research I'm going to do. From Buddhist perspective, very possible. Through the training the mind, you can pass the message back to the cell. So that's why right now I can't surely say, but I personally believe that with the meditations or with the changes of the mind, we can pass the message back from the mind to the cell. If you look at the cancer cell, normally it grows without any proper reason. Here's the one question. Through meditation or through training your mind, can you pass the message back to that cell not to grow? Are you getting my question? Yeah, that can be an answer. I don't have the answer, just a question. I raised the question. So now first to understand the mind, it's a very tricky consciousness. And when you come to the Tibetan term called the namshe, it's when you translate a consciousness, it loses a lot of the meanings. So mind, Translated as a SEM. I think so. Am I right? I'm not very sure. So I'm not a translator. I'm just, or maybe the SEM. So these all the what you really have to, when you now that come for the artificial intelligence. Now these are the sometimes that when you really understand the very perfectly from the Buddhist perspective, I think that you have to go to the term, Tibetan term, and understand and learn a little bit of the Tibetan term. Otherwise, if you learn from the translation, I think you will miss a lot of the meanings. So that is the general some my thoughts to share. And at last, thank you so much for inviting me for this conference. And really, I myself, I'm not a philosopher. I'm just not a philosopher, because I used to teach the philosophy so many years back in the Surya Monastery. I'm the philosopher teacher, but I always tell that myself that I'm not a philosopher, because I always believe that the philosophy is a very complicated. So there's a saying, when you have one doubt and ask the philosopher, he will clarify that doubt, and he will put two new doubts in your mind. So that's the philosopher's job. I don't put any new doubts. I want to find the solutions. I want to bring some of the solutions of the benefits for the people. As I told you before, that research, what I'm doing, immune system, that research, actually, that's not because of I'm so interested in that. I'm so desperate, so I'm doing it. As I shared the yesterday's story, the one student bring me the two friends, they are friends, and the cancer, the last stage, doctor told there's no medicine for them. Only depends on their immune system. They asked me that whether I can do something for them. Really, as I told you, I cannot tell them that I will pray. I cannot tell them that's your karma. I really want to help them. But the very sad is that both of them died. But still, I'm finding some solution to help the more people like the cancer, the last stage, through the meditation, bring the more stronger immune system. So I'm doing it with the desperate. I'm doing it with the benefit, that's a motivation to benefit the people. Whether I success or not success, I don't care about it at all. So that's just the simple my story and what I'm doing. Thank you so much. Thank you.